Hi, this is Aaron Bhaskar from BKBB, an acronym for Bhaskar Ki Business Baatein. Welcome to another episode of our daily news. In fact, today is the second day of the second week of our daily podcasts. And as usual, do remember that we are not just a news channel. We talk about news behind the news on what makes this news relevant. And yes, when we start talking about the news, please remember at the end of the news, I also address one or two questions from the audience. So remember, do post your comments in the Q&A section. As always, we have our two co-anchors. We have Katya and we have Isha. And today we are going to talk about the following titles. And the titles are very, very interesting in their own way. One, of course, inescapable, is the 7 lakh crore rupee budget of the Maharashtra government. And the second is a very exciting bit of news where Sun Pharma has purchased a US pharmaceutical company in the field of cancer. And the third is equally exciting. Where should you put your money? In gold or in equity or elsewhere? And that is something Katya will talk to you later. But we'll begin with a story, with the news analysis of Isha, who's going to talk about Maharashtra's budget.
Hello, good morning. Hope you're having a great start to the day. Thank you for tuning in. Today, I'm going to be bringing you a story from the Hindu titled 7 lakh crore Maharashtra budget balances fiscal prudence, job creation. On Monday, that is yesterday, the Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister and Finance Minister Ajit Pawar presented a 7 lakh crore budget for the financial year 2025-26 in the Assembly. The total budget outlay is 14.17% of the gross state domestic product, or GSDP, making it slightly lower than that of 2024-25 budget, which was 14.8%. In light of this, for lower spending, the government has also reduced the fiscal deficit to 2.7% of the GSDP from 2.9% last year. So this year's budget mainly focuses on industrial growth, infrastructural development, and job creation, with Pawar announcing that he aims to attract investments worth 40 lakh crore and create 50 lakh jobs over the next 5 years. So as you can see on your screen, there's a brilliant graphic that kind of summarizes all the different initiatives that he talks about during the budget, so you can continue to read that as I go ahead. But while he announces these lofty plans, the capital expenditure is also expected to dip by 14.5% in 2025-26 relative to the current fiscal budget, which makes me wonder, how will they support the job creation? Have they been able to achieve a balance where the reduced expenditure won't affect the government's initiatives on job creation? Additionally, while the budget has allocated 36,000 crores for the Ladki Behan Yojana, this is 21% lower than the current allocation, and they conveniently did not mention the promises they made of increasing the payout to 2,100 for 1,500, which a promise that the Mayuti had made during the assembly polls in November. Furthermore, the opposition leaders have also criticized the budget for failing to fulfill election promises and failing to provide farmers with income support schemes. So while the budget is promising, I think there's a lot to watch out for and see if Maharashtra is able to make the most of the workforce and agriculture that they have. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this story. That's all from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Isha. It was good to hear your analysis of the budget, and you're right. The capital allocation is low. Where will the jobs get created? I think Maharashtra government is on a wing and a prayer. It hopes investments to come in from overseas, and those investments will compensate for the reduction in capital expenditure. The big question is, will those investments come in, especially at a time when foreigners and domestic investors are reluctant to invest in India? Plus, Maharashtra has a huge non-productive expenditure of freebies and doles to the Ladki Behan Yojana, And that is where a lot of money will go. And lastly, you have also a situation where uh, the government is also going to try compensate for the jobs that have been taken away, the opportunities that have been taken away by the central government and transferred to Gujarat. Remember that the central government encouraged the creation of a diamond boots there. The central government created a gold boots there in the gift city, and the government moved the entire gift city concept from Maharashtra to Gujarat. Those are three big body blows to Maharashtra. So Maharashtra has a job ahead. As I said, it's in a wing and a prayer. It has to create jobs. One silver lining is that the Samruddhi Mahamarg hopes to create several intersections where there will be logistic hubs and agro based industry complexes for value added agriculture production. That could be a saver. Let's see. And that in turn takes me to my story, which for the day, and that is on Sun Pharma acquiring a US based company. Checkpoint Therapeutics is a cancer product producing company, and this move is strategic in two or three ways. First, it's a US company, so effectively it bypasses any attempts by Trump to impose tariffs on pharmaceuticals. Remember, pharmaceuticals have been threatened with a 25% import duty beginning 2nd of April. And also to remember that pharmaceuticals comprise the first, the largest, or the second largest, depending on how you look at it, exports from India to the US. I said it's the largest, second largest, because if you take all textile products together, they could be larger than pharmaceuticals, but pharmaceuticals as a single industry is much larger than any other industry that exports to the USA. So obviously exports could get affected if the 25% duty gets slapped. Indian officials are in the US trying to find out a solution for this. But acquiring a US company, in a way, Sun Pharma has armor plated itself. Sun Pharma has done some amazing things in the past, and this is just one more proof of an amazing development. And that takes me to the third story, which is equally exciting, and that is Katya. She's going to talk about where you should put your money. Tell me.
So, what do you want to do? So, what would everybody want to do? Glitter of gold, a stack of stocks? So, that's an age old question. So, if your grandmother, if we come back to the brass tacks, it's your grandmother who always wants to put gold, and it is you or your father who wants to go into stocks. There is a reason for that, because over a 25-year-old period, gold always has the better returns, as seen by Sensex here. This is as per an Edelweiss report. But if you actually look at it from a 5-year return perspective, it is actually equities that take the lead. And because equities always generate the alpha which young and new investors want in their portfolio, gold obviously is for people who do not check returns every day. Now, the relationship between gold and equities is very interesting. They are like the two sides of a seesaw, as very well said by Edelweiss. When one side rises, one other tends to dip. Gold shines when there is a crisis. Equities thrives during economic growth. Last year was a very, very interesting exception. Last 2 years, in fact, we had a bull run in the stocks in India because we've seen economic growth. The rest of the world, global uncertainty was really, really heavy. So that is why we've seen gold also see a bull run. But that is changing now. The safe haven status of gold is much more enhanced because Trump has put the international economy, including Indian economy this time, in a big, huge doldrum, in a lot of uncertainty, which means gold will also rise. But they say in the next 3 years, gold is going to see a very decent growth. Equities also might see a very, very staggered growth, is what the report says. But it's actually everybody should have equal amounts of the portfolio, is always what fund managers say, or see their allocations according to their own risk taking abilities. Back to you, sir. What do you think? It's gold or it's stocks? Pick one.
Well, If I had to put my money, I'd put it on gold for two reasons. Very simply, because every currency in the world is shaky, including the dollar. In fact, the dollar is more shaky than most of the currencies. The Indian rupee is weak, and as we've seen in the last 2 weeks, 2 years, the rupee gets weaker and weaker and weaker. So where do you put your money? The EU is nowhere. China could bounce back, but it's uncertain at the moment. Yen, they've got a huge backlog of debt. How it's going to manage, I don't know. Singapore's already very high, so I don't know where the money will go. Many people are still banking on gold because gold is a safe haven when things get uncertain. But then, who knows? Markets are markets. It's quite possible that Bitcoin may take away the thunder. It's quite possible that equities may startle everybody. So, but yes, it's a question worth asking. Be careful when you're putting your money. Don't go by my advice. I told you, if it's left to me, I might do this, but I may be wrong totally. It's always better to be safe. And that, in a way, ends our news analysis for today. Thank you for being with us. And yes, we have some questions that we'd like to answer. And yes, do remember to click the like button, click the subscribe button so you're informed about what developments are there each day. One of the questions that has come up is, can Maharashtra achieve its job creation target? Interesting question. Difficult, as I said, for two reasons. One, the largest job creation opportunities that Maharashtra had have been taken away by the central government and planted in Gujarat. The gold boots, the diamond boots, the gift city itself, which was supposed to be for Maharashtra because it's the financial capital, have all been transferred to that state. So Maharashtra has to begin looking for new opportunities. One possibility, because Maharashtra is a big agricultural state, is to focus on value-added agriculture. Because jobs have to be created in that sector. Will Maharashtra be able to do it? I don't know. But yes, jobs is crucial if Maharashtra has to grow. Jobs are where the big bang for the buck for consumption comes in. And if Maharashtra plays its cards well, it can create jobs, but it's going to be an uphill climb. And that takes me to the next question. Well, a very interesting question. Returns depend upon the potential for growth from current levels. Gold price is already high, while stock prices are low. Where would the upside be? Logically, the viewer is right. Logically, the upside should belong to stocks because they're down, so the upside is fast. But then we are not living in logical times. We are living in one of the most illogical times of all ever in the past. Two simple examples. In the last 200 years, every successive generation has earned more than the previous generation. My grandfather's son, that is my father, earned more than my grandfather did. I earned more than my father did. But the current generation may end up earning less than his parent or her parent. These are times that are very subdued, very difficult. Earning money is going to be difficult. And if earning money is difficult, you've got to take care of your investments very carefully. It's best to hedge your bets and put money everywhere to see that something makes money for you. But yes, your question is right, and let's see what happens. There's another interesting question. Crystal ball gazing. Why don't other pharma companies also acquire US enterprises? Yes, logically they should. But for that you need money, you need the right target, and you need to pass the regulatory hurdles. Remember the old story? How Ranbaxy passed all the regulatory hurdles, bought several US companies, and then it was discovered that the books are fudged. And that is why it is important to be very clear of that your books are not fudged, because now the US regulators are far more strict. Pick a target that makes sense for you for your product range, and make sure that you have enough money to back up your acquisition with further investments to boost the market there. Good question, great opportunity, but the other caveats stand. And that takes us to the end of today's session. Keep your comments pouring in. We love them. We love to see what exactly you think. And do subscribe to this channel. Do click the like button. And yes, one more thing. We want to see you once again tomorrow. Till tomorrow, have a great day. Good luck.